Hey there, everyone. Welcome to your first official expedition on Ed's Expeditions. We are in Prospect Park in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. I actually refer to it as Masonic for reasons I will explain later. So let's begin the journey here. Right here you can see the entrance. If you notice, there's going to be two iron little hooks on either side here, and I'll explain the significance later. So basically what they've done here is, this is kind of town property. There's a couple of water towers here, and they made some trails around here back in the day when I was in high school and slightly after. We used to come here and drink beers, and Chucky would make the campfire way at the top. This is kind of a little hill we got going here. There are two main ways to get to the top. Through the woods is the shortest way, so I'm going to bring you guys that way. Right here, there's your information on the the trails and stuff that they have, and of course that is the motorcycle we came on. So let's begin. Back in the day, you didn't have apartments to hang out and party at, so we came here Friday night, stuff like that. There originally, what was here was a mansion at the top of the hill. Maybe it was built in the 1880s, I'm not sure. Right here we're going into the woods now, amidst the pine grove here. Very tranquil. Actually, I should have said most tranquil. But back in the day, this was a property. There was a mansion up top. From what I understand, good morning to you. From what I understand, it was a husband and wife. I guess the husband died, and they had some money, I guess, and she converted it into a Masonic hospital of some kind, or some kind of lodging. But that building was torn down in the mid 1960s, I believe. What remained was the stone foundations and a gazebo, a stone gazebo. So ruins. So back in when you're in your late teens, obviously middle of the woods, a place with ruins, pretty cool spot. So we came up here once a week, twice a week, something like that. And basically had a few beers. So this is the trail walking up. It definitely is the shortest way to go. Actually, there's a lady coming down, so I'm gonna let her go. Some flies around. I think the best time to walk in the woods is kind of early spring, where the trees haven't come in yet with the leaves. You can actually see down into the woods. Good morning to you. So let's continue. This is where we are headed. Basically, woods trail. This is in between. It's basically off of Shrewsbury Center in Massachusetts. It's a little spit of land in between Route 140 and Prospect Street. And chickadees, they converted it to a park. Ooh, got kind of close to those guys. A few years back, there's volunteers. They did some restoration to the stone gardens, the stone walls and stuff, and they're trying to get the wildflowers going and stuff like that. So when we get up to the top, you can be the judge of how good they've been, how well they've been doing. I always wonder what kind of bird that was. I don't know. Avoiding some pretty significant mud behind me. Like I said, two ways to get up. Now, back in the day, we made the mistake of bringing our cars up here. Remember those 2 iron rings I showed you at the 2 stone pillars? There used to be heavy metal chain between them. And what we did was we would drive our cars up. One of us would hold up to the chain. One of us would hold the chain up while the other one drove their car underneath the chain. So my long-haired 18-year-old self, in all of my infinite wisdom, I arrived, they were already up here, I arrived alone, nobody to hold the chain for me. So I figured, why don't I get out of the car, put it in drive, get out of the car real quick, lift the chain, let the car idle underneath the chain, let the chain fall, run back into the car as it was moving, 1-2 miles an hour, and I'll be on my merry way. Unfortunately, I miscalculated the speed at which my car would idle. So I put it in drive, got out of the car. The car actually beat me to the chain, the 78 Camaro LT. And it took the chain out, it ripped the chain off. So that's that story. The next, they fixed it in a couple days, the town fixed it in a couple days, but that's the legend of the chain. Now they have a gate, I mean, there's definitely municipal stuff going on here. You've got 2 water towers, so this is definitely town property. They have trails around too, but walking in the woods to me has always been kind of plain, because once you've seen one tree, you've seen them all. I tend to gravitate. Okay, so now we've got dogs and stuff, so we'll see how this goes. Hello there. They're friendly, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. There you go. Good puppies. Yeah. They probably smell the cats.
Sorry.
This one too. Hey, no worries.
Yeah, she's friendly too.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Have a good one. They love me. They love me. Oh, we've got some people with yeah, I noticed they're doing a little bit of clearing around here. If kind of down in there, a couple of guys, chainsaws and whatnot. Don't know exactly what they're doing. Actually, I was flirting with the idea that I might volunteer and do some restorative work up here. Lots of history up here. For me personally, I mean, I used to hang out when I was a teenager, and lots of good memories. So, as you can see, the woods trail has now converted kind of into pavement, and we're basically coming up the back way. So we're just about here, by the way. It's a real quick trip. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
So the first, basically our destination's right over here. We'll give you a kind of a pan around. Over there is the stone gazebo. Some pine trees. And then this really old, gnarly tree that's been there a while. Oh, and here's something. Right here, we got a fire hydrant. Just in the woods. This must have been for when the mansion was here. Now, how these ruins go, oh, and that's why I call it Masonic. I don't refer to it as Prospect Park. We always refer to this as Masonic because of the mansion that got taken down. It was converted into a Masonic hospital. So that's where the name grew out of. Okay. So we're about to enter the ruins proper here. All of these stone walls are part of, were once part of the garden complex, I guess you could say. And of course you can see the gazebo in the background, and we're going to get to that in a minute. Right here, give you the general overview. Stone gazebo. It's actually called the Garden of Sweet Remembrance. We've got some stone ruins over here. Right here in the center there, that used to be, they filled it up. It's about a 2-foot deep, kind of a goldfish pond, I guess you could say, something like that. Back in the day when we were hanging out here, some decades ago, that was cement, and it actually filled up with water a little bit from the rain. There was no dirt in there. So that was when we were hanging out here, this place was only in ruins for 25 years. And of course, now it's over 50. So there's been, a few years ago, I came up here and there was considerable brush. So they have done a lot of clearing. Some stones exposed that weren't before. And there's a walkway that goes up there. And just beyond this way, that plateau, that's where the mansion once stood. Unfortunately, there's absolutely nothing left of the mansion. It's basically all about the gardens and the stone walls. So we'll take you to the gazebo. I mean, you do have a little bit of graffiti activity. There's a couple of beer cans around. But thankfully, it's still here, you know? And even over here, you've got little stone something or others. But yeah, back in the day, we would have, Chucky was the fire master, and he would build a fire, I think, right here in the center on the cement. This gazebo is in need of structural repair, I would say. There's also an interesting little, I call it the antechamber. I don't know what this is or what the function was. Maybe a water pumping station, I don't know. But right here we're in back of the gazebo, and I will kind of pan over this way. We'll see how this comes out. I don't know. But some kind of an outbuilding. I mean, there's a pipe there. I don't know. It'd be fascinating to look up what kind of history all these buildings, these structures have. I know a little bit, but you know, just enough to provoke curiosity, I suppose. So from the gazebo, you see it has kind of a central type feel to it. Right up those steps, right up that little dirt ramp, which I suspect steps are hiding beneath the dirt. That's where, that's the plateau where the mansion once stood. So I'll take you guys up there. If this place was cleared out a little bit more, it would be really spectacular, because then you could see all of the design really as a whole. This place is going to fill in a lot. Within the next couple weeks, you're going to get all the early spring now, so you're going to get all the weeds coming up and all the ground cover, and half of what you see is just going to be obscured by growth. So we're walking up that central kind of staircase thing, and you can see that right here there is steps. You know, all it would take is somebody with a shovel in 5 minutes, and this staircase would be restored. Right here, this is where the mansion stood, to the best of my knowledge. There's absolutely nothing to show for it, and of course there's the one of the water, actually maybe you can see them both, the two water towers in the background. So yeah, basically that's Masonic, you know, Prospect Park in Shrewsbury. Yeah, cool stuff. I hope you guys found this halfway interesting. I figured Masonic was an excellent first foray into my little expedition channel. So yeah, I think I'll leave you guys with a little bit of footage on the tripod. We'll try that. Maybe add a little music. We'll see. Hopefully I have something for you. We'll check it out. And that's Masonic. Got a little warm out, so I've had to disrobe to the Bill and Ted level. I'm gonna walk through back to the bike, and I'll see you guys when I get down there. All right, guys, back on the bike I go, and we'll see you on the next expedition.